Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like your emotions were holding you back? Have you ever woken up and thought, I don't feel like doing this today? Maybe it was go to the gym, studying for an exam, or pushing through a tough day at work. We've all been there. But here's the truth. Your feelings don't care about your dreams. They don't care about your future. And if you let them lead, they will lead you straight to regret. Let's be honest. Weak feelings, self-doubt, fear, laziness, excuses are the enemies of success. They whisper lies, telling you to quit, to take the easy road, to play it safe. But let me tell you something. Greatness is never achieved in comfort. Greatness is forged in discomfort, in discipline, in the relentless pursuit of something more. When your mind says stop, you push a little further. When your body says rest, you remind yourself why you started. Because every time you override those deceptive feelings, you're building a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. Think about Muhammad Ali. He once said, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. That's the mindset you need. Weak feelings are temporary, but the consequences of giving in to them last forever. Your feelings will lie to you every single day. They'll whisper that you're tired when you have more to give, that you're not good enough when you're just steps away from success. They'll tell you it's okay to take it easy, to sit back and let the world pass you by. But if you want to achieve greatness, you can't listen to those lies. Success isn't built on motivation alone. It's built on habits, on showing up even when you don't feel like it. Life will test you. It will throw obstacles in your path, distractions at your doorstep, and doubt in your mind. But your response to these challenges determines your outcome. Will you fold under pressure, or will you rise with determination? Will you let fleeting feelings dictate your destiny, or will you stand firm, grounded in your purpose? The journey won't be easy. There will be days when you question yourself, when you wonder if the effort is worth it. But remember this, the pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret lasts a lifetime. Choose discipline. Choose perseverance. Choose to believe in yourself, even when everything else seems uncertain. The greatest among us didn't get there by chance. They fought. They sacrificed. They endured. They learned to silence the voice of self-doubt, to push through the discomfort, to act with courage even in fear. And you have that same strength within you. You have the power to overcome, to grow, and to achieve beyond what you think is possible. So, the next time your feelings try to convince you to quit, to take the easy route, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, will I let these temporary emotions control my life, or will I take control? Will I settle for mediocrity, or will I chase greatness with every ounce of my being? Show up, push through, embrace the struggle. Because on the other side of discomfort lies growth, victory, and the life you are meant to live. Let's talk about winning. Winning isn't about how you feel. It's about what you do when you don't feel like doing it. When that voice inside your head tells you that you're tired, that you should take a break, that it's too hard, discipline is what you rely on. Winners don't act on their emotions because emotions are inconsistent, unpredictable, and unreliable. 1 minute, you're on top of the world, fired up and motivated. The next minute, you feel defeated, drained, or discouraged. But discipline doesn't care about how you feel. Discipline is what gets you up when you don't want to get up. Discipline is what pushes you to do what needs to be done, even when your emotions want to pull you in the opposite direction. If you want to be successful, if you want to become the best version of yourself, discipline has to become the backbone of everything you do. You don't need to be in the mood to succeed. Success isn't about waiting for the stars to align or for everything to feel right. It's about doing the work even when you don't feel like it. And that's the hardest part, isn't it? The battle between what your emotions are telling you and what you know needs to be done. Have you ever had one of those mornings when your alarm goes off and you feel like you just can't move? Like every muscle in your body is screaming at you to stay in bed? That's the moment when most people give up. That's when people let their feelings control them. And that's the difference between those who succeed and those who fail. But when you build discipline into your routine, when you make the choice to keep going even when it feels tough, something amazing happens. You start building momentum. You start getting results. And then, when those weak feelings show up, and they will, discipline is the shield that protects you. Let's talk about Kobe Bryant for a second. He didn't become a legend by listening to his feelings. No, He became who he was because he made the choice to act, even when his body was screaming for rest. He got up at 4 a.m. every single day while the rest of the world was still sleeping. He didn't let his body's tiredness dictate his actions. He showed up even when it was hard. He practiced through injury. He pushed through the pain. Because greatness doesn't give a damn about how you feel. Greatness demands sacrifice, consistency, and the willingness to push past the pain. It's easy to give up when it hurts, but it's the ones who are willing to endure the pain, the discomfort, and the exhaustion who rise to the top. But here's the thing about discipline. It's not just about showing up and doing the work. It's about doing the work consistently. Because success isn't a one-time thing. It's not a result of doing the right thing once or twice. It's the outcome of doing the right thing day in and day out, no matter how you feel. Think about it. If Kobe Bryant only worked hard when he felt motivated, if he only showed up for practice when he felt inspired, do you think he'd be one of the greatest players of all time? Of course not. It's the daily grind. It's the small actions that add up over time that make the big difference. That's what discipline is all about. We've all had those days when we don't want to go to work, when we don't feel like doing that extra rep at the gym, when we're tempted to take the easy route. But you got to ask yourself, what kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be the kind of person who gives into weakness, the kind of person who listens to the voice inside your head telling you that it's okay to skip today, that it's okay to quit? Or do you want to be the kind of person who does the hard things, the uncomfortable things, the necessary things? The kind of person who shows up when it's hard, when no one is watching, when your emotions are telling you to stop. I know it's tough. I know that it feels like the easy way is calling your name. But the easy way doesn't lead to greatness. You can't go after your dreams only when you feel good about it. You can't chase success only when the stars align. No, you've got to push yourself to show up, to do the work, to stay the course, even when every part of you is telling you to take a shortcut. Because shortcuts never work. The road to success is paved with consistent effort. It's about getting back up after you fall. It's about doing the right thing, even when you're tired. And it's about saying no to the excuses and yes to the discipline. I want to make one thing clear. Discipline isn't easy. It's hard work. It requires sacrifice. But here's the reward. When you practice discipline, when you show up every day no matter how you feel, you build something stronger than success. You build character. You build resilience. You build a foundation that can't be broken. Think about the people you admire, the people who have accomplished great things. What do they all have in common? It's not just talent or luck. It's discipline. They didn't wait until they felt motivated. They didn't wait for the right moment. They made the decision to act, even when they didn't feel like it. They made the decision to do what was necessary to reach their goals, to get better, to grow, to succeed. And I'm telling you right now, you can do the same. The moment you decide to put discipline over feelings, the moment you decide to stop waiting for the perfect moment and just start moving, that's when everything changes. That's when you unlock your full potential. That's when you stop being at the mercy of your emotions and start being in control of your destiny. The truth is, success doesn't care about how you feel. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care if you're tired or discouraged or afraid. Success only cares about one thing, whether or not you're willing to do the work. If you want to win, if you want to make something of yourself, you've got to get out of your feelings and step into your discipline. That's how you get ahead. That's how you win. So, the next time you wake up and you don't feel like getting out of bed, the next time you feel that voice inside your head telling you to stop, remember this. It's not about how you feel. It's about what you choose to do. Winners don't act on feelings. Winners act on what needs to be done. They act on discipline. And if you want to be a winner, if you want to rise above the rest, you've got to choose discipline over everything else. Let me tell you something right now. Your weakness is not something that just happens to you. It doesn't come out of nowhere and take over your life on its own. No, you feed it. Every single time you hit snooze, every time you make an excuse, every time you allow fear to hold you back, you're feeding the very thing that's keeping you small. You are nurturing that weakness, allowing it to grow stronger. You think you're getting a little extra sleep, a little more comfort. But in reality, you're making your weakness grow deeper roots in your mind and body. I know it's hard. I know those moments when fear comes up, when that voice inside your head tells you to stay where it's safe, where it's comfortable. It's so easy to listen to that voice. It's tempting. It promises peace, promises relief from the struggle. But let me tell you this, comfort doesn't grow you. Comfort doesn't push you toward greatness. Comfort doesn't make you strong. It makes you soft. It makes you weak. We live in a world that tells you to take the easy road, to find the shortcuts, to avoid the pain. But what happens when you take that route? You get smaller. You get weaker. You don't grow. And you wonder why you're not seeing the results you want. It's because you're feeding the wrong thing. You're feeding your fear. You're feeding your excuses. You're feeding your weakness. But here's the truth. You have the power to starve your weakness. Every time you say no to that extra hour of sleep, every time you push through that fear, every time you refuse to quit when things get tough, you're starving that weakness. You're denying it the food it needs to grow. And that's when you start feeding your strength. Your strength doesn't come from sitting back and waiting for things to be handed to you. Your strength is born in the fire of struggle, in the moments when you don't feel like it, in the moments when it would be so easy to quit, but you don't. You dig in. You push harder, and you refuse to let the fear and doubt take control. That's how you feed your strength. Look at the greatest achievers in history. They weren't the ones who had it easy. They weren't the ones who got by without struggle. No, the ones who rose to the top are the ones who endured, the ones who fought through pain, the ones who refused to let their feelings dictate their destiny. They got knocked down, but they got back up. They failed, but they tried again. They were told they couldn't, and they showed the world they could. Take a look at someone like Oprah Winfrey. She came from nothing, faced rejection after rejection, and battled through personal struggles that would have broken most people. But she didn't let that weakness feed her. She kept going. She fed her strength by showing up, by working hard when no one was watching, by refusing to quit when things got tough. That's how she became who she is today. And that's how you will become who you're meant to be, by starving your weakness and feeding your strength. Every time you take the easy way out, you're telling yourself that your dreams aren't worth the fight. You're telling yourself that you're not strong enough to endure the struggle. But I'm here to tell you something important. You are stronger than you think. You have a power inside you that's waiting to be unlocked. But it's not going to come by sitting back and waiting for life to be easy. It's going to come by pushing through the moments when everything inside of you says to quit, when you fight past the fear, when you keep going when everyone else gives up, when you step up even when you don't feel like it. That's when you feed your strength, and that's when you starve your weakness. It's not about being perfect. It's not about having everything figured out from the start. It's about showing up and giving it your best, day in and day out. It's about refusing to be a victim of your circumstances and taking control of your life. It's about deciding that no matter what life throws at you, you're going to keep moving forward. I've seen it time and time again. People who were counted out, who were told they didn't have what it takes. But they didn't listen. They didn't feed their weakness. They didn't let the world define them. They put in the work day after day, even when it was hard. And when the world was telling them to quit, they were telling themselves to keep going. That's how you feed your strength. Think about a bodybuilder. They don't get bigger by sitting on the couch. They don't get stronger by avoiding the pain. No, they get stronger by pushing through the pain. They lift heavier. They work harder. And every time they do, they break down the muscles that were weak. And over time, those muscles grow stronger, more resilient, more powerful. The same is true for your mind, your spirit, your character. Every time you face a challenge, every time you push through, you're strengthening your ability to handle the next challenge. You're building resilience. You're building confidence. You're building the kind of strength that can't be broken. But if you keep feeding your weakness, if you keep giving in to the fear, the excuses, the self-doubt, you're building a mindset that keeps you small. You're building a mindset that says, I'm not enough. I can't do it. You're feeding the very thing that's keeping you from living your full potential. And here's the hard truth. No one else is going to fix that for you. It's up to you. You have to make the decision to stop feeding your weakness and start feeding your strength. Look at any successful person you admire. They didn't get to where they are by sitting around and waiting for the world to hand them success. They got there by taking responsibility for their own growth. They got there by refusing to let their weakness hold them back. They took the pain, the setbacks, and the failures, and they used it as fuel. They fed their strength and starved their weakness. And that's the choice you have to make every single day. Every moment of doubt, every moment of fear, every time you think about giving up, that's when you have the chance to feed your strength. That's when you have the chance to say, not today. I'm stronger than this. I'm better than this. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep feeding the weakness, or are you going to feed your strength? The choice is yours. Every time you show up, every time you push through, every time you refuse to quit, you're building the life you've always wanted. You're becoming the person you were meant to be. But it starts with a decision to starve your weakness and feed your strength. You want to know where your battles are fought? They're fought in your mind. Every single day, there's a war happening inside of you. It's the battle between discipline and emotion. It's the fight between strength and weakness, between success and failure. And let me tell you something. Every time you choose discipline, you win. Every time you silence that voice of self-doubt, you win. Every time you take action, even though you don't feel like it, you win. But here's the truth. Those moments where you have to decide between pushing through and giving in, those are the moments that define your future. The victory or defeat doesn't happen when you cross the finish line. It happens right in those moments when you don't feel like doing it, when every ounce of your body is screaming for you to stop. That's when the war is won. That's where your real power lies. The battlefield is not out there. It's inside you. The greatest struggle you will face every day is not with the world around you. It's with the voices in your head. And let me tell you, the strongest among us don't have less of that self-doubt. They don't feel less fear or less fatigue. What makes them different is that they've learned how to take control of their minds. They've learned how to shut down the negative thoughts. They've learned how to kill the weak feelings that try to hold them back. I know how it feels when fear rises up in your chest. I know how it feels when you want to quit, when you want to give up and take the easy way out. The temptation is real. It whispers in your ear, take a break. You've worked hard enough. But let me tell you something. Life doesn't reward the ones who take breaks. Life rewards the ones who keep pushing. The ones who don't listen to those weak feelings. The ones who fight through the discomfort, fight through the fear, and keep going when they don't feel like it. Because here's the thing. When your emotions say quit, you have to say not today. When your mind says it's time to rest, you've got to dig in and say, no, I'm going to keep going. When you don't feel like giving 100%, that's the moment you've got to give 110%. That's when the real work happens. When everything inside of you says to stop and you decide to push through. That's when I'm going to tell you something right now. Success is not about feelings. It's not about waiting until everything aligns perfectly. It's not about feeling ready or motivated or inspired. Success is about making a choice. It's about choosing to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's about mastering your mind so that it works for you, not against you. Let's take a moment and think about it. We all have days when we're tired, when we feel like we've given all we have to give. But I'm telling you, the best don't rest in those moments. The best push through. They don't let their feelings dictate their actions. They don't let their emotions control them. They take control of their minds. The war is between you and your weak feelings. And you have to understand something. Weakness will always try to win. Weakness comes in many forms. It comes in the form of self-doubt. It comes in the form of fear. It comes in the form of laziness, procrastination, and excuses. And if you're not careful, if you don't fight back, it will take over. It will keep you small. It will keep you from reaching your potential. It will keep you stuck. But here's the good news. You don't have to let it win. You have the power to take control of your mind. You have the power to change the way you think, to change the way you respond to the challenges that life throws at you. You are not at the mercy of your emotions. You don't have to be a victim of your feelings. You have the ability to choose discipline over emotion, strength over weakness, and success over failure. So, when that voice inside your head tells you to stop, you don't listen. When your body is tired and your mind says, take a break, you say, no, not today. You push yourself harder. You give it more. You give it everything you've got, even when it feels like there's nothing left. And when you keep showing up, when you keep fighting, when you keep doing the work, even when you don't feel like it, that's when you win. The life you want is not on the other side of your comfort zone. It's not found in the easy path, in the safe zone, in the place where you can hide from your fears. No, the life you want is on the other side of your weakness. It's on the other side of fear. It's on the other side of doubt. The only way to get there is to kill your weak feelings, to stop letting your emotions hold you back, to refuse to let fear steal your future. You want success? You want to achieve your goals? You want to create the life of your dreams? Then you need to get out of your own way. You need to stop letting your feelings decide your actions. You need to take control of your mind. When your mind tells you that you can't, you tell yourself that you can. When your mind tells you to stop, you tell yourself to keep going. When your emotions tell you to give up, You say, not today, not ever. It's time to make a decision that you are no longer going to let your weak feelings dictate your life. A decision that no matter how you feel, you're going to show up and give your best. Because you owe it to yourself. You owe it to the life you want. And you owe it to the world to become the best version of yourself. So, go out there and take what's yours. Take control of your mind. Silence those weak feelings and turn them into fuel for your success. The battle is yours to win that you start to build the life you want. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about pain. Not the kind of pain that breaks you, but the kind that builds you. Pain is the pathway. Let me say that again. Pain is the pathway. Weak feelings shy away from pain. They want to avoid it, run from it, find ways around it. But I'm telling you, that's where the real work happens. Pain is the price of growth. If you want to grow, if you want to become stronger, if you want to become better, you're going to have to walk through that pain. Think about it. Muscles don't grow by staying comfortable. They grow when they tear, when they're pushed beyond their limits. When you go to the gym, you don't get stronger by lifting the light weights. You get stronger by pushing yourself to failure. You get stronger by challenging your body. It's the same thing with your mind and your character. They don't grow by staying comfortable. They grow when they're challenged, when they're tested. But here's the thing. Pain will always try to make you quit. It will tell you that you've reached your limit. It will tell you that you're done. It will say, this is too hard. You can't take anymore. And in that moment, everything in you will want to back down, to step away from that challenge, to find comfort. But here's the thing. Comfort doesn't grow you. Comfort keeps you small. Comfort keeps you weak. If you're not willing to embrace the discomfort, you'll never see what you're truly capable of. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt discomfort for the sake of your dream? When was the last time you did something that scared you, that pushed you beyond what you thought you could handle? If you can't remember, then it's time to wake up. Greatness doesn't come from easy days. It doesn't come from lying on the couch. It doesn't come from taking shortcuts. Greatness comes from the moments when you wanted to quit, but didn't. Greatness comes from the moments when you were on the brink of giving up, but you found the strength to keep going anyway. Greatness is forged in the fire of pain. Do you want to know what separates the winners from the losers? It's the ones who are willing to go through pain to get what they want. It's the ones who are willing to go through the struggle, the discomfort, the sacrifice, and keep pushing when everyone else would rather quit. You can't build muscle by skipping leg day. You can't build your character by avoiding difficult situations. You have to put in the work. You have to show up when it hurts. You have to keep going even when you don't feel like it. I want you to think about the people you admire the most. Those who've achieved great things in life, whether it's in sports, business, or any other field. Ask yourself, did they get there by avoiding pain? Did they get there by choosing the easy route? Absolutely not. They got there because they went through the fire. They got there because they were willing to face the discomfort. They didn't let the hard times stop them. They used it. They understood that pain is part of the process. It's part of the journey. When you're out there chasing your dreams, there's no way to avoid the pain. No way to sidestep it. But that's the thing. You don't have to avoid it. You don't have to be afraid of it. You have to learn to embrace it. You have to learn to push through it. Every time you face pain, every time you push yourself to the limit, you're building your strength. You're building your resilience. You're becoming the person you need to be in order to achieve your dreams. I know it's tough. I know there are days when you feel like you can't take another step, when the road ahead seems too long, too hard, and too uncertain. But that's when you have to dig deep. That's when you have to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm going to keep going. You have to remind yourself that you're not defined by the easy days. You are defined by how you show up on the hard days, when it hurts, when you're tired, when you want to quit. I want you to think about the last time you felt like giving up. Maybe it was a tough day at work. Maybe it was a difficult situation in your personal life. Maybe it was a moment when you felt like your dream was slipping through your fingers. That is the moment when your character is built. When you push through that moment, when you face that pain head on and keep going, that's when you become stronger. That's when you step into the person you're meant to be. Look at any champion, anyone who's reached the pinnacle of success. They didn't get there by avoiding pain. They got there because they learned to use pain as a tool. They understood that the pain was part of the process. They didn't see pain as a setback. They saw it as a stepping stone. And you have to do the same. When you face pain, when you face struggle, don't see it as something that's holding you back. See it as the bridge to your greatness. See it as the doorway to your potential. Because pain is not your enemy. It's the catalyst that forces you to grow. It's the thing that pushes you to evolve, to become more than what you were yesterday. I'm going to tell you this. If you're not experiencing pain, if you're not being stretched, if you're not being challenged, then maybe you're not doing enough. Maybe you're not pushing hard enough. Maybe you've gotten too comfortable. And if that's the case, it's time to wake up. It's time to stop running from discomfort. It's time to stop looking for the easy way out. Greatness doesn't live in comfort. It lives in the discomfort. It lives in the struggle. It lives in the pain. So what are you going to do? Are you going to run from the pain, or are you going to use it to fuel your growth? Are you going to let it break you, or are you going to let it build you? The choice is yours. But remember this, pain is the pathway. And if you want to reach the life you've always dreamed of, you've got to walk that path. You got to face the pain, embrace the struggle, and keep going. Because that's the only way to become who you were meant to be. Today, right now, you have a decision to make. This isn't something you can put off for tomorrow. It's not something you can wait on until next week. This moment is the moment. Right now, your decision today is going to change everything for you. It's going to change how you approach life, how you face challenges, and how you walk through this world. So, I need you to hear me. Kill your weak feelings. Every time doubt creeps in, stand taller. When fear knocks on your door, you open it and you stare it down. When comfort calls you, send it straight to voicemail. It's time to stop letting your feelings dictate your life. It's time to stop letting your emotions hold you hostage. Your feelings, they're weak. They're unreliable. They change from moment to moment, from day to day. 1 minute, you feel on top of the world, like you can conquer anything. The next minute, you feel like you can't even get out of bed. That's how emotions are. They are inconsistent. 1 minute, you feel motivated. The next minute, you feel like giving up. But that's not what makes you great. What makes you great is the strength inside you. Your spirit is not weak. Your spirit doesn't quit when it's tired. Your spirit doesn't give in when a road gets tough. Your spirit is built for greatness. And that's why you need to choose discipline over doubt. You need to choose growth over comfort. You need to choose your destiny over your feelings. This is about making a commitment to yourself. This is about understanding that you are the one in control, not your emotions, not your doubt, not your fear. You are the one who decides what you're going to do next. You're the one who decides whether you're going to let the weak feelings take over or whether you're going to rise up and show the world what you're really made of. Think about the moments when you've been faced with tough choices, when you've had to push yourself past your limits, when everything inside you said quit. Think about the times you've been tired, defeated, or frustrated. Those are the moments when your true character is built. That's when your strength is tested. That's when you prove who you really are. And you know what? You've got this. Every time you face the temptation to give in to weakness, remember that you've overcome before and you can overcome again. You've stood tall before and you will stand tall again. Now, I need you to understand this. Every time you let fear control you, every time you let doubt stop you, you're choosing to stay small. You're choosing to stay stuck. And that's not who you were meant to be. You were not created to be average. You were not created to let fear dictate your decisions. You were created for more. You were created for greatness. But greatness doesn't come to those who hide from the struggle. It doesn't come to those who run from the pain. Greatness comes to those who face the battle head on. So, today, make a decision to fight. Make a decision to stand firm, no matter how hard it gets. The road may not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Every time you refuse to give in to the weak feelings, every time you choose discipline over doubt, you are building the future you've dreamed of. You are shaping the life you want to live, and you're doing it one decision at a time. Every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you're stacking up the wins. Every time you push past the pain, every time you keep going when you don't have any more energy, you're proving to yourself that you're not here to play small. You're here to leave a legacy. You're here to make your mark. And I'm telling you that greatness is waiting for you. It's waiting on the other side of your weak feelings, on the other side of that fear, that doubt, that voice that tells you to stop. If you can fight through that, if you can push past it, if you can take control of your mind and your emotions, you'll be unstoppable. Because greatness isn't a gift. It's a choice. It's a decision you make every single day. And today is your day. So, right now, I'm asking you to make that decision. Make the choice to be relentless. Make the choice to kill your weak feelings and step into your true power. The world is waiting for you to rise. Your greatness is waiting on the other side of that battle. And it's time for you to go claim it. Right now. No more hesitation. No more excuses. You got this.